Hello everyone, my name is Anurpota. So today I'm going to discuss about unit number 2, the software requirement analysis and specification, lecture number 16. So the content that we are going to discuss in this video is the extensions and developing use cases. Now let us see what is extensions. A use case can specify a scope. So as we have seen in the previous lecture, what is a use case? So use case show how the functions are performed in the project. So the build system and many subsystems, some systems use case captures the behavior of some subsystems. For example, a use case for a system may be a login. So it is a part of the system, and the interaction of the user with the system in this use case contains interaction with login and authentication subsystem. Now, if login and authentication has been identified as a subsystem, then it is better to specify it as a scope. So login and authentication can be defined as a scope for that use case. Now overall use case of performing an auction. Now use case 0, suppose use case 0 name is auction an item. Now here the primary actor is the auction system, because the whatever the interaction takes place involves auction system. Now the scope will be auction conducting organization. Okay, precondition, there is no condition that should not be satisfied. Main success scenario. So first the seller, what he'll do is he will put an item for auction. So he wants to sell his product for an auction, so he puts an item for auction. Next, after he puts an item, various bidders will perform, that is make a bid for that item. So on final date perform, so complete the auction of the item. Then get the feedback from the seller, also get the feedback from the buyer and update the records. Use cases are used for problem analysis. Now while developing the use cases, formal and informal models can be developed. So use cases can be developed in stepwise manner as problem analysis proceeds. Hence use cases can be presented using different levels of abstraction. Now these are the levels of abstraction, that is actors and goals. So list of actor goal is prepared in which actors for each corresponding goal is specified. Okay, at this level use case to specify the goals of the system and give the overall description about this system. Now these use cases are later on reviewed in order to ensure completeness of functionality. So in the levels of abstraction involves actors as well as goals. First we prepare a actor goal list, so in which actors for each corresponding goal will be specified. Now at this level use case will specify the goals of the system. Next one is main success scenario. Now for each of the use cases the main success scenario is provided at this level. So as we have seen, for each use case there is a success scenario. So the system behavior for each use case will be specified. Failure condition. Now once the success scenario listed, all the possible failure conditions can be identified. So at this level, each step in a success scenario, the different ways in which step can fail from the failure condition will be specified. So at this level we have to also specify at what condition the product may fail. Now before deciding what should be done in this failure condition, it is better to list the failure condition and review for completeness. Next is failure handling. Now this is the most difficult level of use case. Now in the design it will determine the behavior of system on occurrence of failure condition. A new business rule and new actor must be defined in order to handle failure condition, which means suppose if the failure has occurred, now to manage that failure we have to appoint a new business rule as well as a new actor. So you have to define a new actor as well as new business rule to handle that failure condition. The approach for the analysis when employee use the use cases. Step 1. So what are the steps for analysis when employee use the use case? Identify the actors and their goals and get agreement with the concerned stakeholders as to the goals. So the step 1 will be we have to identify the actors and their goals, what they want, and also clearly define the scope of the system. Okay. Step 2, understand and specify the main success scenario for each use case. Now for each use case, as I told, there will be a success scenario which gives more details about the main functions of system. So during this step, analyst will decide to complete some use cases which are needed and which are not been identified. Step number 3, when the main success scenario for use cases agreed upon and the main steps in its execution are specified, then failure conditions can be examined. As I told, when you identify the success scenario, there should be also failure conditions. So once it is examined, it can be enumerated, which must be handled by the system. Step 4, now finally specifying the solution for this failure conditions. Now when deciding the failure scenario, many new business rules are used to uncover these scenarios. So in this video we have studied about how to specify a scope for use cases, levels of abstraction, approaches while employing use cases. Thank you.